Can you believe we're already in October? I can't believe it. Are you as crazy about October as I am? I think fall's my favorite kind of year, but I cannot believe we're already in October. It seems like it was only 2 weeks ago that it was so hot you didn't even want to contemplate doing anything. And now it's so cold and I'm fighting with my husband over when we get to turn the heat on. September is too early, I've heard. So we have to wait a few more days. It's the end of September and I am ready to turn the heat on, but also ready to start my October planning. And if you'd like, I'd love to have you along for the journey. So it's time for me to do my monthly review, and it's been a pretty good month. September wasn't too bad. I'm ready to take my paperclip off of September and move it to October. I can't get over that we're in October already. How is it for you? This year seems to have gone by so fast. Summer seemed to last forever for me this year. I don't know why, but the year as a whole just seemed to race by. And I've even already got my Christmas planner going. So I made a video about that. So if you haven't seen it, if you're interested in Christmas planning already, 12 weeks to go, I can't believe it. So I am going to review my September. And this month was taking focused action. That was my mantra. And I stuck with that mantra all month. And I wasn't perfect, but nobody's perfect. There's no such thing as perfection, but we can strive for excellence and hope that we get there. So I'm just going to review what I set out for myself in September. And I used these planning sheets to help me plan the month, but also to plan my weeks. And I'm going to see how much of this that I actually took care of this month. So let's see what I've got up to. This is actually my third YouTube video this month, so I reached that goal. But I haven't kept up with the program that I'm trying to keep up with. And I didn't quite make my lofty goals for my Etsy shop, but I didn't do too bad either. So I'm happy with what I've done. I've got that done. I've got that done. Started on that. Still have a couple more days. It's 4 more days of September, so I have a little more time to catch up on the rest of this. And I will weigh myself on October 1st and see if I lost the 1.5 kilos that I'm trying to lose. I did a pretty good job prioritizing my sleep, and I take my vitamins regularly, so I got that too. I'll circle back and see if I can check off any more of my goals. My monthly task list. Say I got about 70% of it done. My overall mood this month was pretty upbeat. I think I'm gonna take this out. I hate writing up against the rings. I think everybody hates that. I was action focused and I got a lot done. My top 3 priorities, now looking back at my planning sheet with my top 3 priorities, I'm going to see how I did with those. Well, I guess I'm going to have to voice over this part. What I'm doing here is reviewing my top 3 priorities that I gave myself at the beginning of September, and I'm looking how I did with these priorities. So here's where I write my wins, my lessons learned, and any other notes that I want to take for the month. So looking back at my first goals was my business setup, structures, goals, and routines. And I did spend the September being action focused, moving things along. And I did get all 3 of my goals done. My second one was my Etsy shop. And I did get a lot done. I didn't finish everything, but I got a lot done. I really wish I could remember what I was saying here because it looks kind of important, but I don't know what it was. And the 3 YouTube videos for my channel, I actually did get done in September. Not sure what I'm saying here, but I look pretty pleased with myself. Now I'm going to take out my annual goal overview. So when I review my goals, I'm now looking at what percentage I reached my goals, these September goals. So I'm going through my September goals that are playing into my yearly goals and looking what I've taken care of. One was to structure my business. And then I'm going to say how much percent I think that I'm done there. And I would say I'm up to 80%. Set my goals. Determine focus. And I completed that part. So I'm up to 100% on that. And you guys, I'm a functional planner, not a pretty planner. So if you have ideas how I can pretty this up and still make it quite streamlined, I'm all ears. Let me know in the comments. Oh, I'm supposed to be working out 2 times a week. That did not happen. That did not happen. 0%. 5 inserts on Etsy. That happened. 100%. And 3 YouTube videos happened. Now I'm trying to decide what my biggest win this month was. I find it, for me, it's really hard to think back. I'm a very forward focused person. I'm not even really in the present most of the time. And looking back in the past is really hard. It's really important, but I find it really difficult. So to determine my biggest win this past month, probably achieving 80% of the goals that I set out for myself this September. It feels really good to be achieving after struggling with everything for so long. It feels good to be taking focused action and getting back to living my life intentionally. All right, so checking in with myself. My goals are on track. My relationships, I feel, are also on track. My finances are mostly on track. And my well-being, I'm not working out like I told myself I would, so I'm going to say needs tweaking. That's my monthly review. And I'm going to move forward to my October planning. My mantra in October is going to be keeping momentum. I'm just going to go through quickly my priorities and goals for this month. I don't need to go through every point with you. I'm pretty sure that's pretty boring. And now I'm going to look over my task list from September and see what I'm missing. And then I don't know if you can see this, but I always put one of these little arrows when I've taken care of this task. And then I'm just going to take a look at my past week and check over what I haven't done yet. So this is the current week. It's still going on. My to-do list is still current. And guys, remember, you don't have to do your planning and your reviews on the first of the month, every month. If it's not a great day for you, don't do it on that day. Do it a couple days before, a couple days after. You don't have to do everything by the book. And now I'm just going to forward plan into October. So how I use these weekly inserts is that on the right hand side, I have holidays. So October 3rd is a holiday in Germany. And then I write down birthdays generally on that side. So the birthdays are always the first thing I see when I look at these. And then I use the left-hand side for appointment planning. Although I do have to say I use my digital calendar for appointment planning. I like to have all my appointments in my Outlook calendar because I'm in front of the computer most of the day. I like the reminders, but you often also have things attached to your appointments like agendas or important notes or things that you have to have on hand. Dial-in information. There's tons of information that you need for your meetings or your appointments that are in your online calendars. So I actually use those for appointment settings so that I do get the reminders and I do have all that information. I don't actually set appointments in here unless it's something that's outside of maybe business hours where I'm not going to remember, or if it's on the weekend, in the evening, early mornings where I might not see the calendar reminder early enough. So I do put some stuff in here, and I also put any appointments in here that I need to keep top of mind, either because I need to prepare something for this meeting or there's work to do on it, or I absolutely can't forget it. So if I'm away from the computer for a day when I didn't expect to be and not getting the reminders, I need to have that information absolutely, even if the computer is not on. Those are the things that I put in here. And then as you can see here, I also take my to-do list that's for the week and I pick 2 or 3 top things that absolutely have to get done on that day. And I write those down pretty much in the middle. I think I'm pretty much all caught up for October now. And I will move into the task planning on the weekend when I see what's left over on my task list. But I feel pretty good having reviewed September, having got a lot of stuff done, and looking forward to a great fall. And if you're still with me after this long video, I'm really sorry. I talk a lot. I'm still uncomfortable with the camera. So if you're still with me, thank you very much. And if you enjoyed this and would like more content like this, I would really appreciate if you would give this video a like and maybe subscribe to the channel if you're interested in these topics. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.